Welcome to the Awakened Goddess Show, your source for inspiration, wisdom, and personal discovery. The place to learn from a diverse mix of mentors, metaphysical experts, spiritual leaders, and best-selling authors from around the world. I'm your host, Angela Wilkinson. Join me as I explore the minds of my masterful guests while they share powerful insights and easy-to-use tools you can start using right away. Now, let's tap into the energy of the Awakened Goddess and be enlightened by today's guest. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Awakened Goddess Show, where we co-create powerful, conscious conversations on the leading edge. And today is a super cool episode because Joyce is joining me to talk about how she envisioned her dream business into reality. And if you don't know Joyce, if you're not in the Awakened Goddess Show community, then you might not know that Joyce is also my mom.
I wear many hats.
She wears many hats. And we were just talking about how you are like the official beta tester for all of my programs as soon as
Lucky me.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm an Aries, and that's my whole like theme in life is staying on the leading edge, and I, as soon as something seems like other people are doing it, I'm like, I'm out of here. Let's get on to the next big idea.
And what's nice is she says, guess what, Mom? Can you do this for me? And being pretty shy person, it always takes me out of my comfort zone. So just knowing that this is live and I'm on camera is like squelch.
And that's why we have mimosas on the show. Cheers. Yes, it'll all be all right.
And I'm a lightweight, so if I get dancing on the desk and the table, then you know I've had too much.
Okay, so if you're new to this show, my name is Angela Wilkinson. That's me right there. And so let's dive in.
Okay.
Because we have a lot to talk about. And you're like, I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about. But
Auntie Joyce's pet sitting.
Yes.
And the Envision experience.
Yes. But we're going to start. I want to start just so people have an idea of who you are and how you were working before. So you've been a soap maker.
Yes.
You've had a soap business for 17 years.
Correct.
And
another online business, home-based business, holiday venues, all the above. Yeah.
All the above.
Mm-hmm.
And the official Awakened Goddess product maker.
Yes.
So if you have not checked out the Awakened Goddess products, those are available in there. That's all I use.
Yes.
But we're here to talk about Auntie Joyce's pet sitting because wow, I was really actually surprised at how well the envisioning process worked for that, because my mom, bless her heart, she has so much on her plate that, she often does not have time to just focus on one thing. So,
as you'll probably find out during this show.
So it's been really an incredible journey to watch just how it's been really exciting, because I know that for, those 17 years of your soap making business, you still do it, but that never really was like this easy, it wasn't like a huge influx of money.
No, because I worked really hard at it, but I stay in my comfort zone, which is in a certain space and perimeter. But when it comes to doing the Envision experience, that opened up me to really, really dig deep and find my bigger passion, which I love making soap. I'll always make soap. I'll only use my products. But the experience that I had with the Envision experience, I discovered my bigger passion, which is pet sitting, to a ridiculously crazy, fun time for me. And then I discovered how lucrative it turned out to be immediately, right after I finished the Envision experience, because the process took me through from beginning to middle to end to bring me forward, which I never allowed myself to do before.
Okay. Well, boy,
did I answer a question?
You said you're shy.
I am long-winded.
Okay, let's back up.
Okay,
some
please,
people
lead me.
might not even know what the Envision process you're talking about is.
Okay.
And I recommend, if you don't have any clue what we're talking about, definitely go watch last week's episode, because I break down the steps. There's 5 steps of the process, and I pretty much give you everything you need. It's like the framework for this process that we're talking about. And basically during this process, I help you really, the first step is really about dreaming bigger and getting clarity. So let's kind of walk through the steps and talk about your experience, because you talked about you stay in your comfort zone, and I'm guessing, and of course I know you, so, but I want you to say, I don't want to speak for you, but like a lot of women, I'm wondering if you have the tendency to not really reach for like your goals. Like you kind of just take, what's the next thing? You
I stay hidden.
Stay hidden.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm living my experiences through other people. My passion, my day-to-day life, which is being a mother, taking care of everybody else, and nurturing myself last, thinking that I'm okay, and not really expanding myself to the biggest level. And that's what the Envision experience helped do for me. And for those people who stay hidden and they don't value the highest rung on the ladder because they think it's okay to stay where they are, this allowed me to look way, way out there. In fact, Angela pushes, pulls.
No, I invite.
Invite. There's the right word. She invites you to think really outside the box. And I'm speaking to, there's so many people that it comes easy for them to grow faster. And this works for everybody, but it especially worked for me. And if it worked for me, it'll work for anybody, because I do prefer to stay hidden, because I'm basically a shy person. And even though I've done many, many things in my life, I've surpassed all of my goals that I didn't even think I'd be able to accomplish. This made me realize all of that. And by speaking to myself, and Angela will explain to you what you do I spoke directly to myself. So,
well, yeah, that first piece is getting the clarity, and that's, I think, really challenging for a lot of people, especially if they're so used to keeping themselves small or limiting what their expectations are, or they maybe have had several disappointments in life, and they're not quite sure, or they don't believe that it's possible for them. And you did. I was really proud of, like, you really, really stretched it out there. And here's the thing. The framework I work is that we're playing in the quantum field, and in the quantum field, anything and everything is possible. It's just a matter of us really being grounded and confident and declaring that is what we want for ourselves. And then when we get that clarity, the universe, everything, the quantum field, the molecular structure of the universe will shape itself to manifest, to create this, what we talk about, this new reality that we're envisioning. So, did you find, was it easy for you to stretch yourself, or did you find that, because we do it in a group format, and part of the process is really about declaring and talking and sharing about your bigger dreams out loud.
Well, I will say that that getting started, you don't stretch very far, because it's the first day and the first few hours. And first of all, I have to feel comfortable in my group. And then you have to think beyond. And I just didn't at first. I stayed. Yes. Then I realized the little tiny scope that I was looking through was very little and limited. And then you allowed, suggested, or what was the word term?
Inspired. Invited.
That lens that we all look through. She inspired me to look broader and broader and bigger. And then I'm looking through like the Hubble telescope.
So how big did you go?
Well, were we going to tell the end? I really.
Don't tell them the outcome. Just tell them how big you stretched. Like, do you remember where you were kind of like imagining? Like, what was your goal in the beginning, and then what did it get to? Do you remember?
Okay. Well, I started talking about. I'll see if I can make this story short. I love animals, and I lost my last personal pet, Mimi. And after I lost Mimi, I love animals, but I just could not be a pet owner again. And I know we have had, in the household, we've had Chloe, and she's crossed over, Mimi's crossed over, and we have Colby still. But I did not want to own a pet, personally, but I love kiddos. So I started putting it out there about taking care of my friends' kiddos. And one thing led to another. And along with this, I was doing the Envision experience, and Angela's inspiring me to think bigger and broader. Well, I just happened
because your focus at the time was you were really talking about your soap business.
Yes.
And you kept, every year, it was kind of like she was saying the same thing about how she wanted to take her soap business maybe bigger or make more money with soap business. But then, out of left field, when we did the Envision process, you started shifting, and to my surprise, you all of a sudden decided you wanted to create this dog sitting business.
And that's the thing. When you start thinking about it, we're filled with so many things in our head. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? And she helps narrow it down to the one thing that is the biggest thing. And that's what I discovered was I love making soap. I don't ever want to give up making soap, but my heart kept going back to, I love the kiddos. I love the kiddos. I love the kiddos. Well, it's right there in front of you. So expand on that.
Yeah.
And I did. I did big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell them about your O story.
Well, I have
just talk about how that was part of your Envision. And I don't want to give it away.
She said to think as far out as possible, and I happen to know that somebody that I follow is Miss O, or Oprah Winfrey. And I know that she loves kiddos. She loves dogs. And so Angela said, think out as far as you can. And so I thought, well, wouldn't it be awesome if Miss O hired me to take care of her kiddos? Because I know she travels a lot. I know she loves her animals. And actually, I do travel to take care of kiddos. My friend on Maui has hired me. Actually, she's paid for my trip, and I've gone to her beautiful home, and I've stayed there for 2 months at a time with my husband and myself. And then I've also gone on my own to take care of her kiddos and her kitty cats. And so I expanded it even further. Yeah, that was a tough job. And actually, she's invited me in May, and I had to pass on that one because I am already filled with dogs. And so I will be going in November.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me highlight what she said. She said that she gets paid to travel to Hawaii.
Yes.
To go house or sit for a cat.
Take care of the kiddos.
Yep.
Which I do to the nth degree, and they are my focus. Even though I'm on the island, I enjoy that. I really take care of the kiddos.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the first step, as you were envisioning your big dream is
to the ultimate would be to take care of Miss O's kiddos while she's traveling, and I'm the
so
perfect
we're just
person
putting out
that.
there, Oprah.
Yeah,
that's when you're ready for a new house dog sitter.
I'll come as much as you want to.
Yes. Okay. So, but what happened? So you went through the process, and you were able to you created an Envision movie.
I set
vision.
the goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so how did you use that once you kind of created this vision? Do you remember what that entailed? Like, did you see yourself with all surrounded with dogs in the house, or did you envision
Well,
going to Oprah's
that's
house?
part of the process, is because just thinking about it doesn't get you there. You have to actually visualize it and physically in my mind. I walked through scenarios with kiddos around me, the people I would meet, the particular dogs I'd meet. In fact, with Miss O's particular thought process, I could envision myself in her home and in her environment, taking care of, and I know she likes Labradors, and I've seen that she has them. So I would envision being around a pool with her kiddos and me taking care of them. And that was what I know about her environment. But I would put an environment in my mind's eye with kiddos involved and me interacting.
Yeah.
So I made a visual out of it because that
Right.
kind of put it to another level.
Well, yeah, and that's what the envisioning is all about. Where I help we as a group you're basically creating this fully energized, emotional experience, and and then we translate that. We create a movie out of it where you're the star. So what happened following after the Envision program was over? Because it was a 28-day program.
Yes.
And,
okay.
Yep. And so do you remember what happened? Like
immediately. But I want to back up just for a second
Okay.
and say, because you're working in a group situation, and everybody, you find what happens is I try and stay hidden, but these women were very supportive. We were rooting each other on, and we listened to each other's story, and we got really excited about their goals that they were setting, and brought me to tears when I saw them expand and grow. And I got emotional when I realized that I had as well expanded to a really big picture and dream.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, as
yes.
far as...
And let me just stop you just for a second, because that is important, that when you watch your own Envision movie, that it actually
Powerful.
invokes the feelings. And that is, you have to get to that place. Otherwise, it's just like using like a vision board. You're looking at, pretty pictures, and you have to translate it into a full body experience.
And I wanted to make a point about this too, as I was thinking about being interviewed today. I lost my train of thought.
That happens to me all the time.
just having that thought in your mind and that vision propels you forward. And when you look in the mirror every day to fix your hair and fix your makeup, you don't look at your soul, you don't look in your eyes, you don't look deep inside. Well, when you do the Envision experience, I really looked into my soul, and I looked into my mind, every aspect of me. That's what's different about the Envision experience, is you go deep inside yourself. Mm-hmm. Nothing to do with anybody else. It's deep inside yourself. And we rarely do that as human beings. We look at the surface,
Well, it's tough to do.
Oh, it is very revealing.
And I think, honestly, I have a huge advantage because my training as a clinical therapist and my intuition, like my natural born psychic abilities, I see what you're not saying. I can feel where there's layers.
That's scary.
I know, isn't it? It's like
and here I think I'm hidden all this time.
Oh no, no one. You can't hide around me. But it's such a gift that I have. I mean, obviously, I'm not using it. I'm only using it in a beneficial way. Okay, so immediately after.
Yes, immediately after. I mean, within that day, I did the Envision experience. We did the taping where you speak to yourself, and I was just starting to put the feelers out there and mentioning to a few people. I mean, immediately within the day, I had somebody contact me and reach out to me. And because it's something I love and I'm passionate about, it just rolls off my tongue so easily. Sales and approaching people is the tough area when you're making sales, whether it's soap or anything else. But when you're talking about your passion, everything you talk about comes very, very easy because you're speaking from a different level. You're speaking from your heart.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to you. I'm supposed to be speaking to you.
That's all right. It's a soul level. Yes.
You speak from your heart, and people will know that immediately about me. In fact, I've been told many times that, Joyce, you're the dog whisperer. You know, I'm not taking, what's that guy's name?
Yeah, Caesar Milan.
See, okay, I'm not taking his spot, but, you know, immediately people keep coming back to me, which feeds my insecurities because, yes, they like what I do. The kiddos, when they leave, they are so excited to go home, but they're excited to come back. And
yes. They know exactly
they're all like my own babies. And I will tell a little bit of a sad story here, but
okay.
it's
well. Let's okay.
Okay.
You're gonna have to hold that for maybe part 2.
Okay.
Because there's just so much that's really important to highlight here.
Okay.
Because it is important that it is a soul level. Like it really resonates at a deep, deep level. And
honest, you had to get really honest with myself.
Yes. Now, is this bringing up any emotion for you?
It does. Yeah, it does. And
I can tell. See, I can tell that it's like, just as maybe, a few minutes ago, as we were talking about the actual experience and envisioning it, that it was bringing up some emotion for you. And it's a good thing.
It's exciting. I get giddy with excitement to the point of tears because of the joy and happiness it brings me to a level that's beyond. Really.
Oh yeah.
And I know some people wouldn't want to be a pet sitter, but people just look at me like, "Are you crazy?" But I am just pure joy.
The thing is this is your story.
Yes.
And this can be someone else's story too in another area of their life.
Yes.
So I want to highlight, because like I said, I've been following you, watching this progress. Originally, when you first started and you really said, you had done the envisioning and you decided to do this, you were really then challenged by the pricing.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So at first, she was really undervaluing what she was doing, and so she struggled with that. But then you increased your prices, and then you increased your prices again, and more and more people were coming.
That's the most difficult for me because whether any of my stuff that I do, but with this, I wasn't sure where to target it because it is something I really enjoy, and I thought, well, maybe I should be doing it for free. But then, Joyce, this is a business. Do you want to make money? Yes, I really enjoy making the money. In fact, it's a great second benefit of it. But yes, and I really had to struggle. And Angela, we talked many times and she let me take the lead, but she just kind of prodded me. What about this? And what about this? And what about this? So I had to think about it, own it. And now I have no problem straightforward saying what the fees are because I give like double or triple or quadruple the amount of energy that I put into it. So I'm a great value for what I give the kiddos.
Yes. And this is one of the beauties of the envisioning process, because you're creating this new story for yourself your body and your mind gets on board and believes, even though it's not in this physical 3D reality yet, right? And so because that, the quantum field, we were talking about this earlier, has to show up and start shaping your world to reflect what your new belief is. And now, you have probably 50% or about 50% of your clientele that when they come to pick up their dog, their kiddo, that they're giving you a bonus on top of what you're charging now, even though this
and
is
I say thank you.
even though this is like 3 times more than what you started your pricing with. And they're giving you not like just like, a few dollars. They're actually giving significant amounts of money. They cannot give you their money fast enough. Now,
yes, and they would not do it unless they felt that it was I don't ask them, they actually give it to me. And what I would have done in the past is say, oh no, that's just way too much. Now what I realize is that they are giving from themselves to me and for me to graciously accept. And that's another learning thing too, is for those who don't ever want to, take people, use people, whatever. I had to learn that Joyce, just be gracious, polite, and accept it, because they don't give it unless they want to. And so that's been a nice extra.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice extra.
Well, and because you had to grow into that, and that was part of that envisioning process.
Yes.
So, by the end of the 28 days, you end up with this, it's not just you have this movie at the end. I mean, that's like the cherry on top.
That you can
honestly.
watch time and time again, and should, really, you should, just to
But
reiterate.
you actually get to a place where that new story is integrated and it's embedded. It's your new story. So it's hard to go back to the old story. And so that's why this is such a powerful tool, and that I feel that it is on the leading edge, because we are literally stepping into an alternate reality or another dimension where you're already living that reality.
Well, see, here's how it is. I'm a wife, a mother, a soap maker, and pet sitter. I used to be. Now I'm a pet sitter. I'm a pet sitter, a wife, a mom, and a soap maker. So it just kind of changes the way that you want things to go. And my goal was to be a pet sitter as a business. Your goal may be something entirely different. It's what you envision for yourself. It's great.
You're so like your daughter. You should have your own show.
I'm pushing you out of the camera.
I know. I'm like,
oh, it's this drink.
I'm just gonna step to the side, and she's gonna just take over.
No, I don't want to keep on talking because I don't know how much time you have on there.
Oh, we actually are just winding down here. So I'm wondering, well, you guys that are watching and listening, there is I'm actually creating, or I have a challenge that I'm offering. So I invite you to type challenge in the comments if you want to hop on that. It's going to be a 5-question challenge. And let's see if I can get my little...
Is it for the Envision?
For the Envision, yep. Type challenge in the comments.
Do it.
Do it, because it's kind of like it's a 5-question light version of this process to help you kind of get started. Because the next Envision experience, the Envision movie experience, is going to be May 1st is when it's starting. So
you will not regret this decision to move forward, because it doesn't matter. She'll help you figure it out. If you're not even sure, she'll help you figure it out. And it worked for me.
Yeah. Well, it's how I was able to manifest lots of things in my life.
Yes, you did.
The most.
You should tell. That's another show. Your Envision experience.
Which one?
Well, just go through all of them.
Which one are you thinking about?
The trip.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I envisioned my way to Europe, a 35-day, pretty much all expense paid trip through Europe, through I think 4 countries.
And when she went by the seat of her pants, I mean, she definitely was living on. She was walking a very, very weak limb.
Oh no!
But she did it. Yeah,
no, see that's one of the things.
That's misconception, I guess.
Yes,
so, yes.
From the external world, that's how you would see it. That's from the egoic perspective, and yes, I would not have been able to do that, a year prior, because, and what I learned in that experience, and I talk about this, there's several episodes on the show that you can watch where I talk about my adventures in Europe. But yes, every step of the way I manifested the money I needed for literally like the next day or the next week or the next experience. And I was such in this liminal, this altered space, altered reality, where I was envisioning my way every single step, every day. I was envisioning through the whole trip. And I was not, I was completely calm. I learned.
Exactly. And that's why it works, because from my vantage point, it's a weak limb. But from her vantage point, everything was all perfectly cool, calm, and collected, and was going to work. There was no other way. And that just goes to show you the divide of where your mind is, whether it'll work or won't work. So I said weak limb, but that's from a mother's standpoint from over here and not where she was.
Well, because honestly, and I'm just going to finish with this, that there was a, when I was in London going from, it was like mid-trip, I had $15 in my bank account and I didn't have a credit card as a backup. Yes, keep drinking.
You should never tell your mother you only have that much money when you're in another country.
Yeah. However, because I was envisioning my way, I literally in 8 hours, like during an overnight bus trip, I manifested another $400 that I was like, hey, and I was down to $15 and I made the decision to literally spend all but $1 down because it was, I wanted to make sure I enjoyed my experience every step of the way. And I kept myself out of that place of fear.
Exactly. And I will tell you, she was right. We were riding back and forth while she was over there. And it's immediate. Like my experience, things happen immediately. That's what just blew my mind. Because, you put plans out there and you think, okay, they'll come in. No, it's immediate. And your money came in immediately when you were in the right vibration with it.
Yes.
It happened immediately when she needed it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It works.
I know. I can't wait. I'm getting excited to envision my next thing. I'm not sure exactly what, as I say that, I already know. I was going to say, I'm not sure what it is, but it's going to be, my next big thing is relationship and...
Oh, correct. For your Envision.
For mine, yeah. Yep.
She's doing another Envision for herself.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I envision like almost, every day, every week and all that. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining me, Joyce.
Well, you're welcome, Angela. And I want to tell you, folks out there who are watching, my calendar is filled to the brim, and I have a few open spots. But everybody, I'm in happy land because I'm going to be very, very busy. Spring, summer, clearing. Oh, that's the other thing I didn't say is my friend who wanted me to come in May, I couldn't take that one, but I'm going for a month and a half in November to take care of her kiddo. So, happy ending.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to save that for the next time?
No. No, that's okay. All right. Well, we're going to actually continue this conversation with our members, or with the Awakened Goddess Show members in Goddess Lifestyle School. So if you are part of that, definitely join us in our private group, and we're going to keep drinking our mimosas and having some fun. Otherwise, type challenge, hop on to that. Make sure you get lined up with that. And hey, just think about stepping into the Envision experience, because your life will not be the same after doing that. It's time. Yeah. So
thanks for joining in.
All right. Much love, you guys. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Awakened Goddess Show. I hope you enjoyed today's guest and got something you can start using in your life right away. For more spiritual insights and to listen to more episodes, subscribe to The Awakened Goddess Show at theawakenedgoddess.com and discover wisdom that'll change your life.